happiness, but happiness is first. And then we can do that irrespective of our social status, whether you're rich or you're poor. You have the liberty to be happy or to be happy. So just try to be happy in the best way possible, just as I am happy. Cameroon was knocked out from the finals, yes, despite being the host of the Nations Cup. Egypt, Senegal.
Okay. What do you expect me to say?
No,
to say I'm happy?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say something, at least to just commiserate what I was.
I understand that, but don't expect me to say I'm happy. I'm not happy. I don't even know what I'm feeling right now.
That much, so
says who? Says who? I watched part of the match yesterday, but I decided.
What Arsenal is doing at that stage.
And I decided not to continue watching the match yesterday.
Did you really watch the first half?
Not completely. I started watching. At a point, I lost interest, and I decided not to.
So, in terms of ball possession, first half, who had the upper hand?
I said I didn't watch the complete first half. So
yeah, the little you watched.
The little I watched. No, really, Cameroon actually put in their best from the little I watched. Seriously, because they know they are the host country.
I agree with you. But what you saw was a bit of delusion, because you saw their muscular bodies everywhere.
No, but at least they know that they are supposed to defend this particular simply because they are because they are the host country, and people expected more from them, especially Cameroonians and
all.
The
host countries is expected that you make it through the final because of your home support and all that. But unfortunately, the home support
really push them for.
You could see Samuel Eto'o bury his face because of
disappointment.
It's not a disappointment, it's a defeat.
Well, yeah, it comes with disappointment, whether you like it or not.
It tells the Cameroonians that we should get up for the top place game that will be coming up on Saturday and final on Sunday. So good news, yes, we have two Liverpool players who are the lead men in their team. Sadio Mane, Liverpool, and Mohamed Salah, Liverpool. And these are two front men in Liverpool, and they will be meeting in the finals. Senegal versus Egypt.
Yeah, despite the whole talks about Mohamed Salah, whether or not he was pulling his weight during the tournament and all that, I think that has already written off whatever disappointment in the beginning of the matches, especially in the group stages and the final 16 group. So yeah, so I think Salah will want to prove himself again.
He's been there, but we failed to see him being there. I think what he did was he placed himself as a leader in that team, where you try to pull
everybody
and towards victory. That's what he's been doing.
So his presence wasn't
in terms
felt
of what
that
we
much.
see him do in Liverpool was completely different, because he played a different role in African continent.
Definitely, you should expect that.
That's basically why a lot of persons will say he was a bit absent in the show and all that. But yeah, he was actually carrying the team and helping to distribute the balls and helping also to coordinate the boys and give them push so that they can get to where they are. But recall that Nigeria defeated Egypt, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
And where's Nigeria?
I recall that very well.
Yeah, Nigeria is out of the game and Egypt is through to the finals. Oh, okay, what a twist.
That's life.
That's life.
They say this life never lasts, right?
Yeah. Do you know this is actually what happened in life?
It is.
Yeah, I feel
that is the point. You don't condemn someone completely simply because he couldn't make it in one area of life, and you don't know what how life is going to turn around for the better of that person. So now Egypt is writing a different story.
It's a life lesson. So let's learn from that. Away from that. Let's quickly remind you of what today is. Today is the 4th day of February, and on this day we're going to do a bit of time travel. We'll travel so far. We're traveling way back 1859. One of the oldest known copies of the Bible, Codex Sinaiticus, Sinai Bible, that is sent in Egypt by Constantine von Tischendorf, who takes the manuscript home with him. That happened in 1859. One of the oldest copies of the Bible, Codex Sinaiticus. Okay.
Okay.
I never heard of this.
I never did.
I have to study this.
I never did. But it's a good thing that this is coming through. And we're still talking about Egypt, right? Okay, still on a day like this in 2004, a lot of us who are using this particular medium to communicate, let's tell you that on a day like this, 4th of February 2004 was when Mark Zuckerberg launched the Facebook from his dormitory room in his school. You can imagine, in Harvard. He was there as a student in his room. He was able to, come up with this idea, come up with the Facebook for communication between friends and bringing relatives together. And today, it has become a global means of communication.
Yeah, and a global platform for businesses, isn't it?
Definitely.
And just last year, it changed its name from Facebook to Meta. And that's the name I never loved. And
we still use to Facebook.
I don't call it short. So we still call it Facebook.
Well, I don't even remember what Meta is. But aside the news that broke about him saying, okay, now it is Meta, nobody even on Facebook, you still say Facebook. They didn't change it to Meta, but then they still see Facebook, except that on one occasion or two, you will see the new logo of Meta pop in, in some areas.
I think they still find
it is still Facebook.
It's still.
It's a trademark now.
It is
for
and that's a brand name that shouldn't have gone, but it's been replaced already. Okay, well, away from that, here's what to expect on the program today. Most definitely on a Friday, we open our phone lines to have you chime in on our conversation that we have for you each week. This week also we have an interesting conversation. We hope you stick around and top your phone up so that you can call in and give us your views, your thoughts and suggestions on what our topic is. We're not going to let it out of the bag yet. It's a tricky one, so hang around to find out what we have for you on open access today.
Just top up your phone and get ready for that.
Do that.
Okay, Bumi and will definitely be part of the show, God's willing. I can't say definitely. Because we're expecting that she will be part of the show today. We'll still talk about other areas of education and how teachers can, of course, be mentors to either be mentored or be mentors to other people.
Yeah, and of course we're going to feature a special segment that's speaking about housing for all, and not just housing for all. We're talking about quality housing. We're talking about affordable housing. And so we'll be learning from Kwete, Wisdom Kwete Smart City, what their intention is as they bring home the concept of a smart city that is affordable and that is of quality to the people of Adamawa State. You'll be learning from them what they have to offer and how that will interest you also in the long run.
I'm waiting for a real estate company that will come and break the prices of house rents. House rents in Adamawa State, especially in Nigeria as a whole.
The thing is, there's no management of
there's no control over it. There's no control.
It is just left at the mercy of whoever owns the property, and so
the
tenants are the receiving ends. The landlords are making bricks business out from the tenant, and funny enough, it's a free reign for them.
It is.
So they increase their rent without.
Annoyingly, not ironically, annoyingly, you have these houses all renovated in dilapidated state, but the amount you pay.
I think I've looked for a bit of it.
No, not trouble. Really, sometimes you go around, you hear people talk, and you pity them.
It's a sour one. Then again, to the special of our regulars on the program today, Safian Connect review of the papers and punchline. Please is built for you on the show today. Hope you stick around as we come around with a newspaper review immediately after this break.
Till everyone is gone. Then you unleash your uncultured attitude. You wait till everywhere is still. Then your claws turn dark. Your venom is coated with blood. Your bet is just hanging, waiting to unloose. I smell your thick sweats of discomfort. I smell hatred for my type. That's why you do what you do. You are a pandemic, locking down my future. I am a woman and a human, and not a tool to satisfy your immoral urge in 5 minutes. You say because I dress to seduce you. What about the 2-year-old girl you raped? Did she also dress to seduce you? What about the 6-month-old baby in diaper? You are not man enough. Else, you would have sought my consent. Your inferiority complex is what is driving your blood. You said I am the weaker sex, but I am not. You are, because you are not man enough. You are like a thief in the night. That is what you are. I am a woman. I am strong. I am intelligent. I have a life and a future. Let's stop rape. Say no to rape.
This message is powered by Gotel Communications.
Every day, we are exposed to a variety of information from the larger society and on social media. How credible are such messages? Nobody loves to be deceived. Nobody wants to be fooled. Stop the creation and spread of fake news. Don't be in a hurry to share messages. Verify facts and source before spreading. Fake news is harmful.
Thank you for staying with us on Saturday Breakfast Show. It's time for us to take you through the front page of select national dailies and find out what their key stories or selling stories are, as well as the inside page stories. This morning we have some couple of papers that will most definitely take you apart. And to do a review of this papers with me today is Radio Phineas. Is the correspondent of the Sahara newspaper here in Anambra State. Together we'll be doing this. Very good morning to you.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Yes, twist in the weather condition, isn't it?
Well, the weather is good.
But we're liking it.
Yeah, it's very good. The weather is good.
Yes, I can tell.
At least before we enter the excessive heat season, just enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment. I love that. Okay, so the Nation newspaper is where we'll begin from. Let's take a look at some of the key headlines on the front page of the Nation newspaper. We have these developments captured by the Nation today. Ladoja joins high chiefs to endorse Balogun as Olubadan. That's talking about the embattled royal throne in Badan. That has been laid to rest after the court case was withdrawn. Interesting, so good. The Hishba row resurfaces in Kwara. There was a protest yesterday which shouldn't have happened in the first instance, but it did happen. I think it's a sour taste in our mouth that these developments are still cropping up in Nigeria today. I don't know why it happened, but I think the issue should be really dug deep and get to the root of it. The big story, just before the big story, we have this one coming in from the governor from Borno State. Zulum warns as ISWAP threats to Nigeria. A writer says federal government will arraign 45 for sponsoring terrorism. 96 Boko Haram bandits financiers uncovered. one too many times we've talked about cases that have been uncovered, but that's where it ends. What do you make of first the issue of the threats that has been mentioned by the Borno State Governor, because it is in the epicenter of the insurgency in northeast Nigeria, and he's been through a lot, having to also cater for the needs of his people and also having to deal with the insurgency. What do you make of this concern coming from him?
Well, thank you. That's a very good concern. That he is warning that if allowed, and the development of ISWAP, the consequences will far be more than that of the Boko Haram. Yes, I think so, because the ISWAP group stretches across West Africa, and they could easily get links to ISIS and other international terror organizations. So I think his fear is valid, and his warning should be taken seriously. We should be able to have a way of stopping this thing from developing, and that is to say, for once, government should be serious about this issue, and not the usual thing we used to have. You name names and nothing happens. For instance, police is quick to parade what they call bandits, kidnap, people. They quick, parade them and give them media trials, and then they disappear. I don't know why we're not doing the same with what we call sponsors of terrorism. If these are the people behind this activity, why are we afraid of them? Is it that they are so powerful that we can't touch them? So it's this. We will wait to see what government will do with this risk, because like Zulum wants, the development of these elements is anchored on what sponsorship they get from what government calls sponsorship.
Listen to a philosopher. He said the idea around Boko Haram and ISWAP is can be likened to a conjoined twins separated, because they're coming in from the same ideology, but the only thing is you have a different orientation and a school of thought that's guiding the operations. But right now, with the issue around the death of Bakashekau, ISWAP is trying to prove dominance by usurping the powers of Boko Haram and prove to be more.
Yeah, because the splinter group aligned with ISIS, and so they became ISWAP. Now the bottom line is, this group, of course, will be more lethal than that of Boko Haram. Is restricted to this place, and perhaps they may not get the kind of funding ISWAP is able to amass. So the bottom line is, yes, we would get a more deadly group if ISWAP is allowed to fully develop. That is a reality. So what I'm saying is, these two groups rely on funding to continue to thrive. If we are able to block the sources of their income, definitely they will disappear with time. So, but that can happen only if government takes decisive measures against sponsors.
Yeah, it's arraigned 45 of them, the financiers of whatever crime that is tied to their names. Wouldn't we say this is a very good development?
Why are you naming them? Why are you not naming them like you will easily parade?
It's going to arraign them.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Name them.
I'm coming.
They are proved they are not guilty until it's proven by.
That's correct. Perfect. But the point we're making here, why are you getting it right in one case and getting it wrong in another? Why would you quickly arraign people you've arrested for kidnapping or those you call pickpockets? You just arrest them today and by tomorrow you display them to the media. Why are you not doing the same to these people who are the root cause of the real problem? Why are they so special? Why would the law be applied for them?
Well, we don't support media trial. We don't support that.
What all I'm saying is, yes, agreed, media trial is not good.
Yeah.
Why do we do media trial in one case and we don't do media trial in another? And this is the real problem. Because if you call them sponsors, without the sponsors, it invariably will mean they will not exist.
Okay, so pardon, let's move to the big story, because I know this may interest you. Buhari removes a lobby to shift APC convention date. A writer says no venue in party's notification letter to INEC. State chairman inaugurated. Yes, that happened yesterday. So, is this surprising that because I think it's like a very funny body language coming from the APC. You sent a letter to the INEC from your convention, but unfortunately there was no venue.
But I think you see the drama within the APC, the 2023 thing is gradually unfolding. While the APC is trying its best to present a position of a prepared party or a house united, we still know there are issues within the party. This whole thing is about 2023 and how the presidential candidate will emerge. Of course, various interest groups are pulling the strings from behind. But from behind the scenes, what Maimala Bunile caretaker committee did was to take some people by surprise. All right, we've communicated this thing to INEC already, and so whatever you think will not work again, and then yet in the same document there are certain details that are not available. Meaning the venue for convention, you tell me, hey, we're prepared for this convention, and you didn't tell me the venue. So where am I going to monitor or to observe the process? Whatever it is, we know with time the venue could be, and this also could be a kind of a twist, so that if tomorrow we wake up to say, the whole thing has been postponed again, then it will not be a shock. So there are all kinds of intrigues in the...
Let's see how we can manage the time. Let's move over to the Punch newspaper, shall we? Begins with a very sad story. It says workers' fate unknown as explosion rocks Delta oil platform. You can learn more about that by picking up a copy of the Punch newspaper. Kano Sokoto absent as APC inaugurates state journey amidst heavy security. Yeah, you should have heavy security there because of the dissatisfaction over the primaries that were conducted. The big story on the front page of the Punch newspaper says PDP CSOs lampoon federal government as NIU uncovers 96,000 financiers. Writer says 123 firms, 33 bureau de change operators linked to terrorists. FG alleges terror financiers supporters will be revealed in court, says AGF's office. With transparency's verdict, Buhari can't boast of fighting graft. This according to the PDP. Earlier we talked about this. I think whatever effort we put into addressing all of these problems the nation is faced with, we should not give it political connotations, so that we can get it right as a nation.
Well, in all honesty, I personally believe that President Muhammadu Buhari was sincere when he came. He was also sincere about fighting corruption.
Does it mean that he's sincere today?
No, however, he remains sincere. But the problem is, here we have a problem with a president who is battling ill health. So many things happen without his knowledge. Here is a president who
but don't think this statement is kind of indicting.
No, it's not. The president has done his best. He said it, and we believe he has done his best. But the issue is that, of course, everybody could be ill. I could be ill, you could be ill. So if I am ill, what would I do? My alertness has been reduced. He cannot be everywhere again. Unlike other presidents, because of his ill health, he needs more time to look after his health. So many guys do things without his knowledge. Many times we are told, allegedly, so many things, they just bring issues to him, and he may barely have time to attend to them. This is why I think we still have issues relating to corruption still staring us in the eye. Take, for example, the rice pyramid that they organized for him. These are some things that some of us see as very, very ridiculous. You're talking about a country of over 200 million people, and you're boasting of about 3 or 4 million bags of rice, not unprocessed rice, and then hundreds of billions of naira every year has gone into it. If we are importing those rice, we will not spend as much as we have spent in cultivating them. So what happened? Somebody is tricking and deceiving the president behind the scenes. They know what they are doing. Honestly speaking, sometimes I feel for President Muhammadu Buhari. They give him all kinds of pictures about so many things. They are not like that. So let's really feel for him. Here is a man who is sincere. He has thrown out all his best. Yet people around him have it is, I guess, maybe when Buhari leaves office, he will realize what has happened under him.
Okay. All right. So let's just take some couple of headlines on the Punch newspaper. Para Baptist School shocked as fresh crisis erupt over hijab. Very sad development, sour, and it's been ongoing for a very long time now. Tension as hoodlums attack Arigoswala's faction secretariat. Suspect arrested. Police march Lagos Ibadan highway kidnap syndicates. Gang members. Really interesting. I hope they are, caught up with. Let's move over to the Nigerian Tribune, shall we? And see what we have there. Nigerian Tribune. We'll begin with a security concern. Kidnapping. Police bust 12-man gang terrorizing travelers on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. That was a story I saw also, mentioned also on the Punch newspaper. The big story, FG links 123 companies, 33 bureau de change to ISWAP, Boko Haram. Yeah, that happened to be one big story you find on the pages of all the papers you went pick this morning. ISWAP can take over Nigeria if unchecked. Now, this is according to the Borno State government, governor. You reacted to that pretty much earlier. 2023 to politics now. Just to your right, in the whatever color, shades of color is that one. To your right, 2023, Ohaneze sets up political faction committee, insists on Southeast presidency. All right. Okorocha reports EFCC to Buhari over harassment, and one feared killed in protest over use of hijab in Kwara school. Okay, let me have you talk about the intrigues surrounding Okorocha and the EFCC.
Well, the embattled Okorocha will continue to be in the news about some of this.
So what is it about reporting the EFCC to the president?
Yeah, maybe he feels the issues contained in the charges probably they have against him have been trumped up just because someone is harassing him.
Well, if he has nothing to hide, then there's...
Well, many times in Nigeria we have this executive harassment. Someone feels, I have the power, I can put you on your toes. That is one of the reasons why the framers of our constitution provided immunity for certain levels of government officials, because somebody somewhere feels, okay, by the time we occupy him, even though there is nothing in the case, let's occupy him, let's keep him busy. These things happen in Nigeria, and it's unfortunate. Elsewhere in the world, nobody takes you to the court until they have reasonable evidence at their fingertips as to, these things, we could win this case. Many times people lose cases elsewhere just because of maybe certain technicalities, not because of evidence or substance. So, but in our case, I can sit in my room because I want to see how politically I'll cage Aaron, or I'll come up because I have certain guys who have the powers of the land to arrest and detain you for some time, make you uncomfortable. We go into motion and you are picked up for nothing. These things happen. I strongly believe, given the kind of the person President Muhammadu Buhari is and of whom Okorocha knows, if Okorocha truly have things to hide, he would not be able to go to Buhari.
Okay.
So, because he knows that he's going to the wrong place. So the bottom line is, Okorocha, these are issues, the rivalry between them, it's so unfortunate. I just hope that they'll be able to clear. And it's also sad that government institutions like anti-grav agencies and the police and all have allowed themselves sometimes to be used by politicians to do some of this kind of things. And it is sad.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's sad.
That's very unfortunate. Okay, the Daily Trust is our last point of call. Just some few headlines to mention. Gotel Kaduna Peugeot assembly rolls out new cars. We had this Peugeot assembly plant before now, but it went to sleep somehow due to government policies. But we're being made to understand that the first set of cars rolled out by the assembly plant, owned by Dangote now, it's been rolled out. Also interesting developments. World Cancer Day, patients lament treatment gaps. Nigeria, I quite agree on this one, there's no doubt about it. The big story there says FJ links 96 persons, 156 companies to terrorism financing. There appears to be a bit of inconsistency with the numbers of companies mentioned on this. In the other papers it said 123, that is a bunch if I get that correctly. And also what the Nigerian Tribune mentioned is 123 also. So inconsistency in the digits. But quickly and briefly, do we call this a good prospect? What Dangote is doing in investing in nations?
Oh sure. I mean, it's been very sad. Those days we don't spend so much on importation of vehicles as a country,
because
when the Kaduna assembly plant was functional. Today we spend huge amount of billions of dollars to get vehicles into this country. If we will only focus on Dangote's assembly and then Innocence car manufacturing, I think if we are patriotic people, I don't see any reason why we should still be going out to buy vehicles for senators, reps, assembly members and all this from abroad. I mean, it's absurd. Nobody promotes his internal economy by throwing money outside. It's capital flight. If they would focus here and strengthen this, who knows, before too long we'll not be talking about just mere assembly plant by Dangote. We will be having real car manufacturing in Nigeria. These are things we should do for ourselves and for our economy.
Okay, are you a football fan?
Sure.
Yeah, Egypt or Senegal?
I was excited yesterday.
So let me hear your prediction. Egypt, Senegal. Who do you think will lift the trophy?
Yeah, I think it's all a Liverpool affair, Mane and Salah. I tend to stand with my Egypt.
Okay. All right. So what's the scoreline? Let me hear your prediction.
The scoreline, I think it should be 2-1.
Okay, they will go into a penalty shootout. That's what the side game.
All right.
That's mine. That's
Okay. 2-1 straight win for Egypt.
Okay, thank you very much, Badu. That's the much we can go on the review of the papers this morning. You go beyond the headlines. By picking up a copy of these papers that might interest you from the vendor, or better still, you follow them up online. Coming up immediately after the break, Yetune on the other end, she takes you through your comments on Facebook, plus update on COVID-19.
Chicken Cottage Valentine promo and offer. Chicken Cottage is offering you an opportunity to thrill your family with just 5,000 naira tasty meals that give you access to the Valentine venue. It's the February Valentine show. We are offering 5% discount on our pizza, burger and grilled chicken. That's not all. You also get one free pack when you buy 2 of our local fries. It's Chicken Cottage offer ahead of February 14 Valentine show. It promises to be exciting and captivating as your #1 comedian MC Parrot will be on ground to thrill you with rib-cracking jokes. Remember to be part of this great event. Buy items worth 5,000 naira from our outlet and you get a chance to be on the show. Date February 14, 2022. Time 4 p.m. Your voucher is your passcode. Don't miss out. Our location is Chicken Cottage, Bank Road, opposite Lamido Cinema, Jimeta Yola, Adamawa State. Be there. For inquiry, please call 0903-535-5158 or 0902-540-4042.
For more on all discussions on Safia Breakfast Show, follow us on Facebook. Visit www.facebook.com/Safia on TV Gotel.
Thank you for staying tuned. Let's quickly talk to some of your comments on our Facebook page. We ask you to respond to this particular talking point, saying the Senate has urged the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, send fighter jets to flush out terrorists in their hideouts who are behind the kidnappings and killings of Nigerians. We ask you if this is a working idea or workable idea. Bemare Benedict Gabra says yes, it can work, but only if they can do the work with the sincerity of their heart and without any interference from any quarter. We have capable security agents to do this work. Hakim Abba says we are sick and tired of the attitude of government in the fight against insecurity. There is no sincerity of purpose, glaring acts of compromise and sabotage, according to Hakim Abba. Comrade Bright Yakubu Elfan says, actually it could have been a great idea, but the reverse is the case for the Nigerian government. The so-called terrorists will definitely leave the place before the arrival of the jet fighters. In fact, they will be informed about the coming of the jet fighters. Who is deceiving who in Nigeria? Well, that is a question that cannot be answered, but of course it's a question that needs answer. Titus Innocent Isinga says it can work. We are tired of all the bandits and kidnapping issues in this country. As a matter of urgency, let it be done this week. Okay? Just a Miracle says, well, together we can make things done effectively, so I think we should give them support, which will be so doing enhance their morale and to work, or rather work and execute the work. That's what you meant to say here. Ruben Mperuji says, I just hope and pray they are speaking from their hearts, not for political gains. There are other comments. Adams Musa London says, it has become a daily occurrence to wake up to the killings of innocent souls, and the government will always sympathize or send condolences, and nothing has changed. Do the Senate need to write the executive to fight or flush out killers in our country? Many things are just not right in this country, and some people are benefiting out of the shedding of bloods. It is obvious that things are not right in this country, but then we just hope that things will be done in the right way. Samantha Sunday says, same old story, not working at all. I call that story for the gods. Let's be optimistic once, please. Comrade Abiodu Taka Ibrahim says the Nigerian army are capable of fighting the terrorists, but the enemy within will not allow it. This is the big problem of the country. The fighter jets should start within. Well, Bonaboy, okay, somebody is bearing Bonaboy here. Well, Bonaboy says it is not everything government must do for security. It is for every citizen to be vigilant. If they see something, they say something in our country, not for somebody to own. I really cannot comprehend what you're trying to say, but I believe you're saying people should be vigilant. Abraham Michael says, I think dialogue is the best way out than fire for fire, because any situation needs to be discussed. Okay, well, these are opinions of people, opinions of Nigerians as regards security developments in the country, and that is what we are going to hope that things are done in the right way. Quickly, take a break and come back and tell you the latest updates of COVID-19 in the country. I'll be right back.
TV Gotel.
And on COVID-19 in Nigeria, the latest figures is saying about 100 new cases were confirmed as of 3rd of February 2022. That was yesterday in the country, bringing the tally to 253,505 as regards total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria. Those discharged who may have contracted the disease and now discharged are now 229,893, and the death toll has also risen to 3,136. The toll-free line for NCDC is there on your screen. 6232 is the line you can dial should you suspect any person around you to have the virus. That's the much we have for you on the COVID-19 updates in the country, and we just pray that people abide by the non-pharmaceutical protocols of regular hand washing, wearing your face mask, distancing yourself in a public environment, and all other protocols that needs to keep you safe. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the punchline on the breakfast show.
Your dream of having your home in Yola is closer to reality than you think. Wisdom Quarty Smart City Fintiri Extension in partnership with Adama Homes and Savings affords you that rare opportunity to own a luxurious home complete with state-of-the-art facility. From the convenience of your smartphone, you can control your light, air conditioning, generator changeover, and much more using the Wisdom Quarty Smart City app. Apart from providing you a smart home, Wisdom Quarty Smart City guarantees you 24/7 water supply, electricity with standby transformer, and an option for solar power, street lights, tarred roads and drainages, smart security fence, and more. Applications are now available for 5,000 naira only. You can visit our head office located at number 10 Duse Street, War College, Gwarimpa, Abuja, or our Yola office located at Adama Homes and Savings Limited, number 1 Bishop Street, Jumeta, Yola. For more enquiries, you can call 0816-831-1805, 0806-481-8357, or 0805-331-7776. Wisdom Quarty Smart City Fintiri Extension, sustainable housing for all.
Alright, thank you for staying with us on Saturday Breakfast Show. It is a time for Punchline. It is coming to the public glare, and it is noticed evidently that the office of the National Orientation Agency, the vehicle that is used to mobilize the people to support and, applaud government policies as well as program, is on a sleep mode. That office is inactive, and its objective is not being delivered in the manner that it should have been. And that's the reason why this morning we want to speak to the office, and for those who are close to the National Orientation Agency, should speak to them and tell them that they need to wake up. Nigeria needs them the more now. Nigeria needs them to unify the country. Nigeria needs them to inform them about what the political processes are all about. Nigeria needs them to speak to them about government policies and how they can be a part of government policy, and also help the government in achieving its goals as well as objectives. So the NOA Adamawa State is what we are speaking to directly this morning. Yes, you know? I don't know. Have you also observed it in a manner many persons have?
Isaac, I am disturbed, I am disappointed, I am vexing. I don't know what other word to use, because
these are too many adjectives.
Come on, come to think, why are they even in that office? They are still being paid. They are federal government workers. They are being paid on a monthly basis with taxpayers' money, and they do nothing.
Okay.
People need to be educated. People need to be talked to as regards what is happening in the country. You need to pacify people by messages you said, but you sit in your offices doing nothing. You only carry files. I don't know what report you give at the end of the day. Because I can't remember the last time I saw a jingle sponsored or produced by NOA. At the federal level, one or two years, they are not very active even at the national level. But here in Adamawa State, nothing.
I'm not entirely making up excuses for the NOA, but I know this is one thing that we see cut across, agencies, ministry agencies and departments. Paucity of funds, they starve the funds, and where there's no fund, there's no way they can operate. But if you are smart enough, you operate within a state, your office is within the state, call Adamawa State for instance. If you partner with the government of Adamawa State, the NOA office have the capacity to develop programs that can help propel government's program here in the state, using your thematic, readings to actualize all of these realities. I don't know if the office is actually doing all of this.
In as much as you talk about positive of funds, whether or not they're being funded to do all of these programs, yes, we understand that may be an issue, but it is not excuse.
No, that's why I'm not making up excuses for them.
Secondly,
they can think outside the box.
Secondly, even if they are not given funds to run the office, they should tell Nigerians that they are not given funds to run the office, because people feel they are just dormant. People feel they are just seated there in the offices doing nothing. Come out and speak to Nigerians that these are some of the challenges we are faced with, but these are efforts we are making. At least let us feel your pulse in Adamawa State, for instance.
It is becoming a case of the National Orientation Agency being disoriented.
They are not oriented at all.
So that's just because the idea of orientation is for you to speak to the people, try to get to the people, educate the people, inform the people.
Now we are talking about the 2023 elections just months away. So nothing is being done yet until at the end of the day, maybe 2 to 3 months, you start bombarding the people with information that they cannot assimilate.
Okay, so we're taking a swipe at the NOA here in the state, and we hope they'll take a listen and take steps towards addressing some of these shortfalls. It's a concern, and it's a genuine concern. I know some might sit on the sideline and say because you don't work in that office, and so you don't know what happens there. We do, and we understand.
We understand. We have information. We also have our ears to the ground. Some of the things that do happen, they even bite, they even fight themselves simply because one person wants to be. You cannot. Okay, call the shot is okay. Come out yourself and speak. Okay. You have the platform. Anybody that you think is coming out is even protecting the image of NOA, not for you to be fighting the person.
They call them National Orientation Agency.
They are not longer oriented.
So that's the last time we knew that we had a veritable tool that was helping, unite Nigeria, speak to Nigeria, was MAMSA. NOA. All right, we'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll be learning from a housing developer that has come home to, roost. What intentions they have for the people of Adamawa State. They call them Wisdom Quality Smart City, and he's bringing the product that it had overseas back home to offer to the people of Adamawa State. You'll be learning from them what they have to offer and how you can be a part of this, success story that is coming up here in the state. Do join us after the break.
Your dream of having your home in Yola is closer to reality than you think. Wisdom Quality Smart City, Fintri Extension, in partnership with Adamawa Homes and Savings, affords you that rare opportunity to own a luxurious home complete with state-of-the-art facility. From the convenience of your smartphone, you can control your light, air conditioning, generator changeover, and much more using the Wisdom Quality Smart City app. Apart from providing you a smart home, Wisdom Quality Smart City guarantees you 24/7 water supply, electricity with standby transformer, and an option for solar power, street lights, tarred roads and drainages, smart security fence, and more. Applications are now available for 5,000 naira only. You can visit our head office located at number 10 Duse Street, War College, Gwarimpa, Abuja, or our Yola office located at Adamawa Homes and Savings Limited, number 1 Bishop Street, Jumeta, Yola. For more enquiries, you can call 0816-831-1805, 0806-481-8357, or 0805-331-7776. Wisdom Quality Smart City, Fintri Extension, sustainable housing for all.
joining us, and you're watching Safia Breakfast Show. So let's talk to developments in Nigeria and centering it in Adamawa State. Something that really you should be looking forward to that may change the face of the normal we are used to in the state. The rising demand for quality, affordable and sustainable housing, especially here in Adamawa State, is of course for developers to come in and make do with what is available to them, and that is the opportunity Wisdom Kwati Smart City is offering Adamawa people and those interested in coming into such an avenue to also be part of the developments in Adamawa State. And we're being joined to offer, or rather to prefer, solutions to housing in the state, affordable housing and quality housing, and other opportunities that is available within this sphere. We've been joined by Wisdom Kwati himself. He is, of course, the CEO of this particular smart city we are about to experience in Adamawa State. Wisdom, thank you very much for finding time to come on the program. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Yeah, thank you so very much.
So, Wisdom Kwati Smart City. What a name. So what's the wisdom behind it?
Well, the wisdom behind it is the fact that we see our people suffering, and we need our people to have affordable, accessible housing across the nation.
Okay, so it's not just in Adamawa State. So just talk to us about what you have been able to do in Nigeria, because you said across the nation, in Nigeria, before we bring it down to what Adamawa people can look out for, from the Wisdom Kwati Smart City.
Now, across Nigeria, we've been able to, first of all, look at the critical needs in the housing sector and the problems it is facing, and also profile solutions. Now, that was what better to the Wisdom Kwati Smart City. And so far, we've built in some estates across the FCT, and we're currently building some right now. We're having we're having Sabon Lugbe, and we also have at Giri Junction also very accessible housing. And we've also jumped into Kaduna, where we had some issues, of course, with the security there. So we had to pause the project for a while. We are now currently in Yola now to deliver housing. It's really because of the housing deficit in Yola. It's really large, and the private sector we saw was not participating. So we felt it's a good opportunity to come and help our people and help them to have access to affordable housing.
Okay.
So Wisdom Kwati, Wisdom Kwati is from Adamawa State, if I guess correctly?
Very much.
What part of Adamawa?
I'm from Demsan, Bulaba tribe.
Okay, fine. So we know why this is coming home now.
So we usually, say what you're looking for in Sokoto is in your Sokoto. But unfortunately, from Sokoto, you went out first, and now you're coming back to give us to spread the good news to the people of the state, because we know that housing is a basic necessity, just as we have food, clothes. The next thing you talk about is shelter. Actually, I was checking through your page, and I found out that it said on that page that you've developed over 8,000 housing, if I get that correctly, and that's Wisdom Kwati Smart City is a leading developer that can stand the tests on the continent of Africa. What makes you think you have this uniqueness in what you are offering to the people, especially as you try to bridge the housing deficit?
Okay, now when you look at the housing sector, you see the 3 A's that we call it: accessibility, affordability, and availability. Okay. Now, every housing developer must aim to meet these 3 A's. The first thing that we looked at first is affordability. Is the housing affordable? Because we understand our economy, the recession and everything, and we need our people to have affordable housing. Now, beside affordability, what quality and what standard are you giving? Now, that's what we come with the smart city. The smart city is not just having a smart home. We have gone ahead of the smart home, having a city that's sustainable. So we're using actually sustainable materials at every point in time to be able to deliver this housing. Now, we have these materials everywhere. The laterite, we have the laterite, we have other materials that we source for locally. So that helps us to make the house very, very much affordable. Now, when it comes to accessibility, not everyone understands or knows how to get their housing. Even the government have tried their own parts, and I'm very happy that in Yola right now the governor is doing so much in terms of housing. He's really doing very much. The Fintry 1,000 housing units is doing very well there, now trying to make housing accessible to the people. So availability, accessibility also are all joined together. So if you are not financially stable, how can you afford to buy the house? If the houses are not accessible or are not available, how do you even buy the houses in the first place? So we actually brought in the idea of a smart city, or even to automate the houses. And to a layman, when he hears a smart city or a smart home, oh, it's too expensive, I cannot afford it.
Definitely, I should think that way. Going back to this kind of economy, I should think that way.
Yes, but it is actually, every smart home is expensive, because most times we get to have to import the gadgets or the hardwares that we use to automate the homes. Now, what Wisdom Quality Smart City is doing is most of our automation are being produced locally. We actually design automation, the softwares, the applications, the APIs we use to automate our houses are being designed locally, cutting down the cost by a margin of almost 60% of the automation. Now, it has enabled us to give one of the cheapest and affordable, rather, we don't call it cheaper because it's not cheap. The most affordable housing solution across the nation. And so far, currently, like in Abuja right now, our houses are one of the cheapest in terms of pricing. Yes, this is because we are sourcing everything locally as much as we can.
I hope you're not just stating it because you're trying to make it look enticing and attractive, but actually you're stating the obvious, which is that what you have to offer is actually within the market value. It's quite affordable.
It is quite affordable because when you look at the housing, our 2-bedroom is going for in Yola right now 8.5 million for a standard 2-bedroom. Now, a standard 2-bedroom bungalow is automated, and we're having POP everywhere, while we're actually even looking at offering the solar option, whereby it can just be on solar power 24 hours without any power outage or anything. Now, with that pricing, you could compare it with the current pricing that the other developers are giving, and you could see that what we're offering is really, really affordable.
Can we get a description, because you mentioned automated.
Yes.
Someone will be like, okay, what's the idea about automation? Let's get a clear picture.
The houses that
How do you build the house and how do you automate the house? What are the things that are automated in the house that's making it seem different from our normal conventional houses that we have?
Now, when we talk about a smart home, most people also, permit me to say, make the mistake of comparing it with the Western smart home automation. Now, but we at Wisdom Quality Smart City really needed to bring it down to our own Nigeria, or the African way. Now, a smart city or a smart home is beyond just automation. It's all about having a sustainable home. Secondly, when you talk about automation, the kind of automation that we face right now, your lights or lighting system in the entire house is fully automated, meaning from anywhere you are in the world, with the help of the internet, you can actually connect to your house and interact with your house. You can actually control your lights from your phone, you can control your air condition from your phone, you can control your television, your water heater, you can control everything, even your sound system from your phone. And if somebody is in your house, or maybe you have an aged parent at home or a sick person, with the help of the CCTV within your house, you can actually monitor what's happening in your house. In recent times, we've seen the issue of house helps and the children at home, it's the molestation and all. So that's why you need a smart home. The smart home solves half of your problems that when you're not around, you can actually monitor everything that's happening within your house. And also, most of the incidents that happen in terms of fire, outbreak and everything is because maybe we forgot to off our heater, put up something in the house. So, but with the help of a smart home, you can actually from anywhere, I forgot, let me just do it on my phone, on my app, and just switch off. You don't have to start rushing back home from the office, and when there's traffic,
Okay. That's a big what if.
Especially not in Yola.
You really asked a very critical question, what if? And trust me, I have no answer to that.
It's interesting that houses like this are now available for people to, but like you also talked about, the affordability given the economy, given how things are now more expensive, even to afford a 2 square mil, not 3 now, 2 square mil is an issue for people. Government over time have been trying to also bridge the gap, in the housing deficit and all that. What more do you think can be done to make some of these houses affordable? A 2-bedroom flat bungalow, 8 million naira, Isaac? How can we make it more affordable, especially the private sector and the government collaboration in all of this?
It's related to partnership. Possibly if you have that kind of a program.
Well, you see, as much as we want to have all the houses as affordable as possible, also we are not an island. We work with manufacturers of the raw materials we use for construction. And trust me, in Nigeria, it's not going down. It actually just keeps climbing. The inflation actually is affecting especially the construction industry. But one thing that we've done at the Wisdom Quality Smart City is that we've given more of a payment schedule. Now, that is being brought in because we have a good investment backing to enable us build these houses and still wait for up to 5 years to recoup in our investments. So yes, we have investors, partners, both locally and internationally, and they have actually helped us to offer these houses more to have a very easy payment schedule. Like for the Wisdom Quality Smart City Yola now, with just 1 million as down payment, you can secure your slots, and you can now be paying monthly or quarterly. But you have to keep maintaining because how comfortable it is for you. And if you look at even the current federal government's pricing in terms of their housing, it's quite even far expensive than what we're offering. Because at Alliance, that 1 bedroom is about 9.2 million or thereabouts, and we're offering 2 bedroom for 8.5 million. So trust me, our houses are very affordable compared to what others actually, even the government. Now, in terms of collaboration with the government could offer something more of the tax holidays for developers, and also more incentives that will help subsidize the house. Incentives like lands, like free lands to invest or land as equity of the government. So those are some of the things that the government can do to us, because we have the clientele that we're having are so massive, and we have so many people. You could see that there is a huge housing deficit in Yola, and people want these houses.
Yeah, you can state that, and everyone will say, yes, you're right to have mentioned that there is a housing deficit in Yola, because if you do a bit of study, you find out that most people who are resident within the metropolis are actually tenants. Very few.
Tenants is increasing every day.
And it's increasing daily. Talk to us about the packages that you have to offer. I know you slightly mentioned the 2-bedroom, and I know it's not just the 2-bedroom you have to offer. What are the packages that you have, and how attractive are these packages? Because I'm feeling tempted right now, possibly think of investing.
You should invest.
What are the packages that you have to offer?
So far for our phase 1 in Yola now, which is located at Shengiri, beside the police housing estates. So I'm not going to pronounce it Shengiri, but Shengiri. So just after welcome to Yola, we have the 2-bedroom and the 3-bedroom bungalows. The 2-bedroom is going for 8.5 million, and 3-bedroom 13 million. While we have the 4-bedroom duplex going for 65 million. It's fully automated 2-story duplex. While the land space we have on each of our buildings are really massive. You could go on site right now. Construction is currently going on now. You could see for yourself. You could see the size of the rooms. You could see the size of the land. For our 2-bedroom, we have about 300 square meters land space, and for our 3-bedroom, we have 450 square meters. That's 50 by 100. In more easy to understand. And while the 4-bedroom duplex, we have 1,000 square meters. That's 100 by 100. So we did not economize or trying to minimize the land space because to maximize profit. We just wanted to give people something good and we believe that everybody in Yola deserves a smart home.
So how do we get you? For instance, someone watching this morning feels, okay, yes, I can invest in this property. How do we reach you?
Well, our office is located at Adabao Homes and Savings, and you can also easily walk into the banking hall of Adabao Homes and Savings to pick up your forms. The forms are going on for 5,000 naira, where you can begin to make your payments immediately to secure your own slots.
So, represite. If you pick up a form, down payment is ₦1 million.
$1 million for 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom bungalow.
Okay.
Well, down payment for a 4-bedroom duplex is 10 million.
Okay. So after that, it will be distributed just like a mortgage. If I get that.
More of mortgage. We can actually pay when you pay the entire money that's being bulk. You actually get a 5% discount.
Okay, for anyone who is for anyone interested, I think you can hardly get an offer that is close to this one. Thank you so very much for what you're doing, and it's interesting that you've come back home to give the people something that is quality at a very affordable price. And we hope that you get the desired patronage for this housing project that you are executing here in the state. Well done, Wisdom.
Thank you very much.
There's a lot of wisdom in what you're doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, just as the name says, it's Wisdom Kwati Smart City. It is now in Yola. You can patronize them. They kick-started in Abuja and spreading their tentacles. And they said nowhere to go better but to come back home. So give them a try, and possibly you'll be persuaded that there is nothing better or closer to it. This is Safi Breakfast Show. We'll return with our educational segment after the break.
At the height of the 2019 political campaigns in Adamawa, we asked hard-hitting questions. Years down the line, we'll take you to Dogiri, the seat of power, Government House Yola, the hub of policy and decision-making. What has Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri brought to the table? We take you back to the campaign promises.
Daga primary school zuwa secondary school ya zama kyauta a wannan jiha. Zan hada wuta zuwa Tango, zan tabbatar na ba local government autonomy nasu.
What are the deliverables, tangibles and intangibles? We track development in all sectors, analyze and propagated the giant strides of the Fresh Air administration. Inside the Government House Diary, we explored, dissected, listened and disseminated views in the court of public opinion. The Government House Diary ensures no one is left behind and nothing is left untouched. Watch out for the Government House Diary with Sharif Al-Hassan on TV Gotel, ATV Yola and Fresh Air Online Africa
Yeah, as Nigeria gears up for the 2023 general elections, we have off-season elections that are taking place in states. Outside the off-season election, there are elections that are taking place also within the state. Here in Adamawa State, the ground has been set in motion ahead of the council polls, just as political parties have started, issuing nomination forms for aspiring, members to come pick their forms and show their interest in the offices they want to vie for. And some couple of months from now, Adamawa State will be going out, residents of Adamawa State will be trooping out to vote councillors as well as chairmen of their local government areas. The question we ask is, what kind of leaders do we expect to emerge when the time for the polls is right? How do we help shape the opinions as well as change the narratives of what we used to see as a usual culture here in the state, where persons emerge without clean interest for the benefit of the people of the state? This is what we need for you to chime in on. So our line is open. We would most definitely love to hear from you. Give us your own views of what you expect to happen and how you expect that change to happen here in Adamawa State. You can tell by the activities already and how busy party offices are currently here in the state that these politicians are ready for yet another season of election. Yes, here today, yes, I don't know what your thoughts are on this particular one. It's a popular belief. I think we have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Aaron, and you today.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. What of yours?
You can tell by the way we look, isn't it?
Definitely. I see so many excitement on your face.
All right. Thank you, Abdul Razak. Thank you for being a part of the program. So you're following developments in the state, isn't it?
Definitely.
Okay, so what are expectations as we gear up, as we prepare for yet another chairmanship as well as councillorship elections?
My expectation is that first thing first, I would like to draw the attention of the umpire that is taking with the responsibility to conduct the election, which is the Adamawa State Electoral Act.
Yes.
Please and please, I urge them to be fair, free, transparency and credibility. And I would also like to urge them that they should open a level ground for all the political parties to showcase their talent. They shouldn't be misguided. That's for the INEC. And for the political parties, I thank God that the PDP and other parties are saying that the people living with disability and also the women are giving free form opportunity. It's one thing to give them free form, and it is another thing to motivate them electionarily. And what I'm also going to draw the participants, which is the aspirants that is needed to be matched. Please and please, they should put the state aside. And the electoral, which is we, that we want to be voted into a power, we should be so conscious. We should know the kind of leaders that we are needed them to lead us to the grassroots, to the local government. Because thank God that His Excellency have already granted autonomy in the local government. So it's left for us to find a transparency and credible person to lead us. And I'm going to also draw the attention of the political parties, please and please, in the process of selecting their candidates. Please and please, they should be free and fair. And the general populace, we should be so conscious on the kind of leaders that we are needed them to be voted in. Thank God that His Excellency has made it categorically clear that he didn't have any interest on the elections and the local government. So it's up to the game of the Adamawa State INEC, please and please. All the issues is both down.
Okay.
Transparency, credibility. I think the whole process is going to be free and fair. It's like you want to keep in your question, I'm hearing.
Abdul Razak, it's not a question. It's so that we can make room for other persons
it's
to
a
come.
thank you.
It's a thank you. Well said, Abdul Razak. Well said.
I just love the way he tabled his issues.
He picks the items one after the other. Thank you so very much, Abdul Razak. I think if we all will have this kind of understanding, then we would, have a better country and a better state. Yes, there is a whole lot that is involved. We have, ATSEC, which is. Hello, good morning. Hello? We can hear ourselves re-echoing back from your television. So do us a favor, if you're calling us, please put off the volume of your TV set, or put off the screen so that it doesn't serve as a distraction. All we want to hear is that clear feedback from you.
Hello?
So let's avoid interference. Please turn the volume of your TV set to the lowest so that we can speak effectively. He mentioned ATSEC, he mentioned political parties, he mentions the players themselves. I think on the side of the government, it is a popular belief in Nigeria, because this is something, if you check history, there is a lot of emasculation of local government elections in Nigeria, where the party in power appears to be the one that is most favored to win all the seats across. I don't know how it happens, but that's the state.
Hello?
Hello?
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
Sorry, can we
can even hear ourselves
end this call? This is what we're saying. You cannot listen to yourself from the TV and talk to us on the phone. You're on the phone, it's a different channel of communication. Listen to the call on the phone, and most definitely you'll get us clearly. Please, let's just abide to this. It will help us to have a clean call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Aaron and Brenda.
Good morning, how are you?
Fine, how's everything?
Thank you, we're fine, and everything is fine, and there's a lot of excitement.
Fine, no problem. This is Elizabeth.
Okay, there's a lot of excitement in your voice.
Yeah, but these politicians, we need more intervention in their issue, because if you say you are putting in the right person, you can't want anyone in the wrong person.
Sure.
So we need more intervention in this issue. And I've been open leader since 1985, but I've never come across any of my councillor or my chairman in the Yola North. So we say they're going to change their advocacy and change their attitude in everything they do. They should not be false promises, please. They cannot make those false promises. Once they are on the seat, let go direct them what to do and what not to do. That's my contribution, please.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mrs. Zira.
Thank you.
And I wish you a very pleasant day today. You like people with such excitement. This is spirit. Yeah.
Each time she calls into the show, you know that she's eager to make her contribution and of course make her points known.
Okay.
Well,
that's point.
Yeah. We have to wrap things up on open access.
Yeah,
for the few we've gotten, we thank you so very much for making calls into the show. So going ahead for the elections, be wise, open your eyes before you elect anybody into office, and know that you have the power to question, to recall if they are not delivering on the dividends of democracy. We'll take a break. Bumi and Annie will be joining us afterwards. Sometimes to be a troublemaker pays, but it's always good to be a peacemaker. Anyway, welcome back to the show, and this is still Safio Breakfast Show. So we're going to be talking to education and what is happening in the education sector in Nigeria. Well, there are different dimensions, different areas to talk about, but this time around we're continuing. Possibly we're going to wrap up on the whole mentorship skills and how teachers can be mentored and some of them become mentors. It depends on the way you say it. So we're going to continue on that series with Bumi Anani, and she's already seated, ready to conclude on that series we started about 2 weeks ago. Bumi, thank you.
She was a bit early today. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the secret is.
Oh, the secret. It's a new year.
Okay.
It's a new beginning. So let's see how we can sustain this.
And the weather seemed to be a little bit
favorable, you know.
Okay.
So to sleep well, wake up early. Yes, exactly. You take your time.
It's a pleasure.
So yes,
So we talked about how teachers need to be mentored to be able to bring out the best in them, for them to also deliver on this particular, on the huge task, you know, given to them to deliver on. We also talk about how they can look up to other teachers, other you know, mentors within the profession and all that. Just remember, you can give us more you know, recap on that. But this time around, after your recap, I want us to talk about how teachers can also be mentors. We used to hear stories of our fathers then who want to be like their headmasters, they want to be like their English teacher. Those are mentors in a way in those days. But nowadays nobody wants to become a teacher. What happened? How did that change? So give us a recap of what we talked about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago we said that a mentor is somebody who has an interest, a particular interest in another person's professional development, and provides that person with all the opportunities needed, the guidance, the support, providing materials, opportunities for training, for advancement. The mentor does not keep opportunities to himself. The mentor is generous. The mentor is forthright. He's able to spell out the shortcomings of the mentee and able to give constructive criticism where necessary, bearing the overall goal in mind. The overall goal in mind is that the person should develop, should grow, should develop resilience in that profession, should develop capacity, and should be able to contribute meaningfully, and most importantly, confidence in that profession. And the teaching profession is one sector, is one area where a lot of people need this vital professional element for them to grow. Besides, we need retention, you know, in the teaching profession. We don't want teachers to leave. We don't want brain drain into other professions. We have so many brilliant people who are capable teachers, you know, but at the end of the day, it's either because of the unemployment situation in the country, they now find themselves in the teaching profession as a temporary respite. You know, the only thing that makes them stay could be passion, but passion itself is not enough, because from passion one could easily become disenchanted when you look at the working conditions, which are not always favorable, whether in the public sector of education or the private sector. The working condition is not always that favorable. So beyond passion, a person comes into the profession looking very excited. Oh, I'm happy, I'm a teacher, I'm here and all that, I want to contribute to the development of society. That is for those who come in with that excitement, you know. But along the line, 3 years down, if 2 years is too far, they begin to feel disenchanted. They want to opt out, you know, of that profession for other greener fields, you know, and that is not all going well for us. At the end of the day, we discover that the really good people, they are leaving. Well, I don't want to use the word mediocre, brain drain. I don't want to use the word mediocre, because there is nobody who is mediocre. The difference between a mediocre person and somebody who is competent is just commitment. Commitment to one's development, commitment to being humble enough to be taught. You know, commitment is all encompassing, and one way we can grow commitment is by mentoring. And who are these mentors? They are veteran teachers. They could have retired. They could be people who are still in the system, who have had over 15 years experience in that profession. They've garnered experience. They are not just teachers, but they have also been tested like heads of departments and should be qualified to be their mentors, especially when they have grown on the job over the years and they have a track record. So whether retired, whether still on the job, they can still avail themselves of the opportunity to bring up, to guide, to support, to provide expert feedback, assistance to new teachers and to struggling teachers. And it doesn't just end with the teachers in the system or the ones who are retired. At the university level, we are all teachers. The grade level is just different. You know, whether at the university, primary school or secondary, we are all educators. So at the university level, the ivory tower, they should be able to provide, contribute to the development of teachers, both in the primary school and secondary school. How? Why don't you go to these primary schools? Go to these secondary schools, whether in the public or private sector, render your assistance. Then there was a fundamental question that was asked last week. That's money factor, a mentor. When we look at the genesis of mentoring, it came as a result of this Greek, this writer, Omar, in his book, Odyssey. A hero. He entrusts his son Telemachus to a friend, mentor. Definitely mentor never collected any money, which means, and from there we now began to crystallize that name to fit into what he did for his friend into our own careers and our everyday lives. So a mentor does not collect money. If a mentor, if you have been misguided,
it's more like a service.
It's a service. Yeah. It's voluntary. It's a community service.
Okay.
If a mentor, so-called mentor, has been collecting money from a mentee, that person is not a mentor. That person is just a coach. Okay. A mentor never collects money.
My question would be the mode of selection, because on either side, either as a mentor, how do you select people that you want to mentor? As on the side of the mentee, who should be your mentor? How is the selection done?
Okay.
Is it universal or it's like optional when you choose who to,
Sometimes the selection of a mentee or a mentor is either conscious or unconscious. Okay. Unconsciously, you may be my mentor. How? You call me. You advise me. You tell me that I observed the way you spoke on TV, for example. I'm a teacher, though you're a media person, but because of what I do with you, you could call me and tell me you could do it better, learn to sit straight, learn to, and all that. Yeah. You are mentoring me unconsciously. Then sometimes you can say, but there is an opportunity somewhere. Don't you, as an educator, I think it would be beneficial for you. Why don't you just go there and avail yourself? You expose me. You see material, you give it to me. I have not declared you a mentor, but unconsciously you are mentoring me. And then how does and then it can be conscious too. I could meet my head of department or a vice principal, or even the principal, or somebody in the at the Ministry of Education who has owned a lot of years in his teaching career before getting to that level, and tell the person, please sir, I admire the way you do your things. I know you could be strict. I understand your principle. The person even tell you, look, I'm a principled person. All mentors are principled. They don't spare the road at all. Either by word of mouth or by right, they don't spare the road. So, sir, I don't mind. I have a reason why I want you to mentor me. So that's a conscious form of mentoring, and it could be unconscious. Then how do we choose our mentees? A mentee, for instance, most mentors don't choose their mentee. That one is usually unconscious. They just take an interest, like, they just see qualities in that mentee, that this person is teachable, this person is humble, willing to learn, willing to grow. I think I could take this person up, and the relationship begins. So there is a vital quality a mentee needs to possess.
How would you
teachability.
Connect the dots? This situation that I want to paint. I saw something from afar when the what do you call it? The Maltina Hall was handed over to the school, for instance. Yes, and I saw in a person who I reverence a lot and I respect the person a lot, seated in the crowd, that is in person of Mommy Titi Adewumi.
Yes. Yes.
There, present. How does that present itself to you? In liking to what you just mentioned.
Reverend Apostle Titilayo Adewumi, she is, apart from the fact that she is a woman of God, who does what she does really well with a whole of her heart. Now, I want to take it at different levels. Apostle Titilayo Adewumi is a mentor, an unconscious one. This is what I mean. From afar, she's a role model. Remember, a mentor will definitely be a role model because that is the attraction in the first place. She is a role model, and then she mentors a lot of people from afar. You know, I mentioned sometimes that mentorship cannot really, active mentorship will not always be from afar. That's the truth. But from afar, she mentors people by what she says, by her lifestyle, by the testimonies surrounding her life as a person. Her life is visible for all to see. It's so accessible. Now, if we truly want to drink from the cup of real mentorship, the way mentorship should be, one needs to move from seeing her as a role model and a flexible mentorship to becoming active by getting close to her. You go to meet her in the office. Mommy, I admire you a lot. Your life speaks volumes. It motivates and inspires me. But I also want to drink from your well, which means you should be ready to be broken into pieces.
Sure.
Yes, because if you want her to mentor you, any mentor at all, the mentor will break you, put you back together, recalibration.
Sure.
So, but if you keep looking at her from afar as a mentor, no. She's not yet a mentor. You are learning from her. You have to, from a distance. She's just a role model. You have to go to her. She will give you tasks. Every mentor does that. Now, our appearance at that program speaks volumes. It means that she doesn't forget her place as an educator. She has not thrown it away. She still realizes that despite the fact that she is into the spiritual ministry, the ecclesiastical ministry, she was a teacher. And once a teacher, according to what she always says, always a teacher. And so she comes to identify with
she teaches.
Yes, with the success of another educator, an upcoming educator, a young educator. At present says, look, I may have retired, but I'm with you all the way. I recognize what you're doing, and we appreciate what you're doing in the education sector of Adamawa State, and that goes a long way to encourage any young teacher anyway. And I really salute her courage.
Disconnect, because we have a few minutes to spare. Where did the disconnect come from? In the past, we saw people who would brace up and say, yes, there's something positive in you that I fancy. And the more reason why I feel I can, follow in your footsteps. But today, it's gone oblivion.
Thank you.
No longer see it. I think the pursuit of certain other things that must not necessarily border around money has, taken the better off of a lot of persons. So where did we get disconnect, and how can we get back on track for the betterment of education? Because everything we're saying is leading us to a better education.
Of course. Now, this is a disconnect. Number one, mentors should not always demand for money. No. How much money would we even pay you for all that you do for us? Let it come from the heart of the mentee. And it might not always be in cash, Then secondly, people should be teachable. Now, a lot of people come close to mentor. From afar, as a role model, it looks so rosy. Oh, this person is perfect. Oh, this person. But by the time they get close, you mean this person has a weakness? Mentors have weaknesses too. Oh, yes. And sometimes when they appear harsh, it is not because they want to be harsh. They are breaking you, they are testing you. Do you have grit? Do you have resilience? It's not easy to want to become like another. Do you know what that person has gone through to get there? And you just want it on a platter of gold? No, they have to build in you resilience, which a lot of people don't want to go through. They just believe, oh, this person is beautiful. Oh, this person is doing well. Oh, I love her spoken English. And when you come close to the person, please, I want to be mentored by you. And the person begins to put you through the rigors, the process. They don't want to go through the process. They want the end result, not the process. They begin to say, oh, that person is, we thought she was like this. We thought she is like that. So she is this harsh. No, the person is not harsh. The person is only trying to build you. And building process is not easy. So, exactly, you need humility, teachability. And that is what is lacking. That's why a lot of people, and then pride. She knows it. Me too, I know it now. What's there? Oh no, you're getting it wrong. So that is the disconnect. The moment teachers like us, the moment even students, anybody in any profession realizes that, look, for you to be better, you need to mount upon the shoulders of those who have gone ahead of you. And the mentor may not necessarily be older than you are. The mentor may even be younger than you are. The most important thing is your goal. What goal do you have in mind? Are you ready to bend and to pay the price? Submission.
Okay. Well, I think time is still too short for us to still close this particular conversation, but we'll just have to leave it at this. We just have to leave it at this. Always a delight. And very short moment would have gotten your take on the Day for Education, International Day of Education. But time will still not let us do it.
It's okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure always.
Yes. They say you cannot take the heat, don't be a blacksmith, isn't it? And the beauty of gold is seen after it has been refined. So it's attractive,
You
it's
know what it
valuable.
goes through before it gets shiny? We're wrapping things up. Isaac can continue on his own motivational talk, but we'll do that next week. Thank you very much for being part of the show this week. We appreciate you. Look forward to recaps during the weekend. My name is Yetunde Oshunbi. We'll see you again next week.
And from Aaron Isaac, do have a lovely day and have a lovely weekend all the same. Bye for now.